Hey, how's everybody doing? It's Telerio Watkins here, coming to you from TelerioWatkins.online. Go check out my blog. Also, Marketing Matters Academy. Marketing Matters Academy is a group that I started where I teach you about matters surrounding marketing, whether that's branding yourself, building up your audience, or making connections, developing the knowledge and skill sets necessary for branding yourself, building your audience and making those connections. And we also teach you how to increase your sales. So definitely, if you're interested, go over and join our Marketing Matters Academy group. Today I have a quick question for you. Have you ever felt like you were stuck doing a strategy that just wasn't working for you? Seemed like it was working for everybody else, but you were not getting the results you thought you should be getting? I have 4 steps that I want to share with you that will help you get unstuck from a strategy that's not working. Let's get into it. Step number 1, I have a couple of notes here that I'm going to use. So step number 1, find someone who is succeeding at what you're trying to do, right? A lot of times in business, you need to find a mentor. One of the things that we did when we started Tiger Mushroom Farms was we went and found a mentor who was actually growing mushrooms. And we sat down and talked to them about how you actually go about doing it and doing it successfully. We also found a company who was making mushroom kits, and they were selling their mushroom kits successfully. Both of these companies are multi-million-dollar companies, and they are direct mentors to us and our son. So find a successful mentor or somebody that's doing what you want to do, but they're doing it successfully. Second, observe what they are doing. So we actually took a trip to the mushroom farm, did a tour, and looked around their facilities to figure out exactly what they were doing in order to be successful growing mushrooms. We looked at their operation. Both companies, one's in Pennsylvania, the other one's in California, and we looked at their operation and what they were doing to actually be successful with growing mushrooms. And then copycat their actions, right? Copycat. So a lot of people have from childhood, so it's not your fault, but a lot of people have this mindset that keeps them from following, right, successful footsteps. And as kids, we all remember, it was not a good thing to be a copycatter, right? And so as we become adults, you kind of still, even though you don't realize it, are holding on to that whole mindset around not being a copycat. And one of the primary ways to be successful is to copy what successful people have done. Instead of, right, you've heard this 100 times, find where there's no trail and blaze a new trail. That's super great. But if there's a successful path that you can go down, why not follow that successful path, right? So copycat what the successful people are doing. And what we ended up doing was copycatting a rotation system. I came home, figured out, because one of the things that we were running into at farmers markets was we'd have tons of mushrooms one week, and then it would take us 2 weeks again to reproduce our mushrooms. The mushrooms produce in 2-week cycles, and so we would have a week where we didn't have enough mushrooms for the farmers markets. So once I realized how to run a rotation system so that I would keep mushrooms growing on a regular basis, we were able to make sure that we have mushrooms every single week for the farmers market. And then step 4, pivot and adjust while taking actions. Make sure that you pivot and adjust while taking action. So this is similar to a recipe, right? If you're cooking a recipe and you're following all of the ingredients, at the very last step, you want to adjust the recipe to your taste. adjust it to what you like and what flavor you want the recipe to have in the end. And so the same kind of thing will go with marketing. You copycat their activities, you copycat their actions, but ultimately you have to make the strategy fit you, right? And so you want to pivot and adjust. And so one of the things, this was a huge operation that I was copycatting, and so they had, you know, different chambers. So, you know, he would have four separate chambers. One chamber where, you know, the mushrooms had already fruited, and they were getting ready to replace the blocks. In a new chamber, the mushrooms had just started to fruit, and so, and then in a third chamber, they may have been in mid-process, and then in a fourth chamber, those mushrooms were getting ready to be harvested. Well, in my operation, I didn't have separate chambers. All I had was rows. And so I set up each of the different 4 rows to be my rotation. So row 1 would be mushrooms that had already fruited. Another one would be blocks that had just been put down. They were getting ready to fruit. Another one, they were already pinning out. And then my last row is where we actually harvest from. So find someone who is succeeding in what you want to do, observe what they are doing that is successful, copycat their actions, and then pivot and adjust so that it fits you, right? Fits your desired taste. All right. Hope you found some value in that. If you did, like and share. Thank you very much.